Hey guys, it's Julia. Welcome back to my channel. Before we start this video, I just want to say, first of all, thank you so much for being patient with me with this video. It's been in the works for almost about a year now, which seems like a long time, but of course it's a skincare video, so I'm pretty much a full brand review, so I've been taking my time to make sure I'm diligently testing out the products. It's also a dupes video, so I also have to test out the dupes and make sure that they're comparable in terms of comparisons, but I'm really so excited to be filming it today. Today's video is going to be all about the brand Drunk Elephant. I love Drunk Elephant skincare. They're one of my favorite brands at Sephora, and they're very well known for being one of the pricier skincare options, but I do really think that their formulations are on point a lot of the time. So in today's video, I want to share 10 reviews of their most popular products, basically give you guys a synthesized version of my view of the brand now that I've tested out most of their most hyped up products, share my thoughts on these formulas, and then also share some dupes where you can get these same quality amazing ingredients and formulations for a lot less money than Drunk Elephant be charging, because yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Before we start, I want to just take a quick second to thank our sponsor, Ana Luisa Jewelry. You guys know I recently became a brand ambassador for Ana Luisa, which is just like such a pinch me moment because I've been working with them for almost a year and a half and wearing their jewelry for over 2 years. I am incredibly grateful to have the privilege and the opportunity to work with and be sponsored by brands that I truly love, and that I have the opportunity to work with companies that not only are sustainable and I believe are doing great things in the jewelry sphere, but align with my views, and I don't have to rely on sponsorships from brands that don't align with me. Pretty much all the jewelry that you see me wearing is from Ana Luisa. They make beautiful luxury jewelry pieces with fair prices. My newest piece is this beautiful little star necklace I'm wearing right now. This you've seen me wearing in a couple videos recently, and I just think it's beautiful. I've also been wearing my favorite pair of earrings from them, this little pair of solid gold hoops. Again, such a classic and versatile piece that I really feel like is never going to go out of style. And for a pair of solid gold earrings, this is probably the best price you can get. In every video I do with Ana Luisa, I like to focus on one of the main things I love about their brand, and this month I wanted to focus on their carbon neutrality goal. By the end of 2020, they're working to achieve a net zero carbon footprint, which I think is absolutely amazing. They are really making strides in the luxury jewelry world to be one of the forefront sustainable companies and to really focus on countering fast fashion, which I really appreciate. And they're currently running one of their biggest sales of the year, their Mother's Day sale. So if you wanted to pick up pieces from them and support a really amazing sustainable company, now would be the time. You can use the code MOM35 to buy one and get one 35% off. So you can get one thing for yourself and one thing for your mom, which is super convenient because I only wear gold jewelry and my mom only wears silver jewelry. So you guys have actually asked me in the past, because I always wear the gold jewelry when I'm talking about Ana Luisa, but they do have a beautiful silver selection, and that is what I picked my Mother's Day gift from. I'm especially thankful for my mom this year. I've been quarantining with her and I just didn't realize how much I missed like living with my mom since I moved out into the dorms, and as much as it sucks not being on campus, I am very thankful for the time to be closer to my family. So you can use my link down below to shop the Mother's Day sale, and otherwise just use my link to shop on Ana Luisa and support me. Thank you guys so much to Ana Luisa for sponsoring today's video, and thank you to you guys for being so supportive when I announced that I was a brand ambassador with them in my last video I did with them. But with that, let's get into the Drunk Elephant review. Full details of this look that I'm wearing should already be on my Instagram. Let's get into this video that's taken me months and months to create. Alright, I'm going to start off with probably the most popular product from their brand and also the first thing I ever tried from them. this is the Drunk Elephant TLC From Boost Glycolic Night Serum. And this is a serum that I just think completely changed my skin. My skin/acne journey has been one that took maybe 6 years to actually figure out what I was doing. But believe it or not, when I tried this out, I want to say maybe 2 years ago, this was my first ever time trying out an AHA, which is crazy because AHAs are truly one of the best ingredients to use for acne prone skin. Throughout high school and stuff, I'd been on everything from prescription retinoids, which honestly completely messed up my skin. I think retinoids are amazing, but my dermatologist at the time kind of just gave 15-year-old me a retinoid product and didn't tell me how often to use it. So I used it every day and completely just destroyed my skin barrier. From there, I was really scared of potent active ingredients for years to come. I heard really good things about this serum, and also I noted that it was probably one of the most expensive skincare products I'd ever seen at Sephora. So at Sephora, you can ask for 3 samples every time you go, and I asked for a little sample size of that. That tiny sample size lasted me about a month. I think a little goes a long way with this serum, and the results that I saw from this serum were insane and rapid. I'm talking a huge diminishment of texture. I used to have like really prominent bumps all over my forehead. Not necessarily like huge breakouts, just like those tiny under the skin bumps that give your skin texture but aren't necessarily things that you can go ahead and extract. AHA in here does a really great job of effectively exfoliating surface texture, but the BHA in here does a really great job of penetrating deeper into the skin and forcing out the bacteria deep inside your pores that's going to cause acne. But you can have a BHA and AHA serum that isn't going to be as effective as this, because what really matters is the balance of those two ingredients with a really good low pH and a good stability in the way that those ingredients are delivered to your skin. So in terms of formulation, I really feel like this is one of the best acid serums and one that I consistently see really good results with and can depend on to get those results. I personally like to save money for serums, and this is a serum that I feel comfortable spending more money on just because I know it's going to work really well. But of course I do have two more affordable dupes for this serum. So the first is not like a drugstore slash affordable serum by any means, but it is a whole lot less expensive than the Drunk Elephant one. The Pharmacy Honeymoon Glow AHA Resurfacing Night Serum. This is a beautiful formulation. It just says AHA on the front, but it actually does have BHAs in here as well. And I find that the inclusion of honey in here does a really beautiful job of, like the Drunk Elephant one, exfoliating my skin and being very effective, but still being gentle and hydrating on the skin. I would say that these are very, very comparable in terms of effect, and I'm probably going to be repurchasing the Pharmacy one over the Drunk Elephant just because it's a lot less expensive and they're very, very similar in terms of after effect. And then on the actual affordable side, we have the Good Molecules Overnight Exfoliating Treatment. This is a 10% AHA and BHA blend, so not quite as potent as the Drunk Elephant one. And then the Pharmacy is 14%, so this is a little bit more potent than Drunk Elephant, but the honey in here does kind of tone it down a bit. I really enjoyed this a lot. I think it's a really high quality AHA BHA serum. All of these are meant to be used at nighttime, and I try and only use these about 3 times a week. Never ever using them on 2 consecutive nights. I find that that's a little bit too much for my sensitive skin. But overall, the TLC Friend Boost does get my stamp of approval. Next up, quite possibly the second most popular thing from Drunk Elephant would be their other prominent serum, which is the C Firma Day Serum. I actually don't have it with me anymore, but I did have a full size that I tested out for about 6 months or so. This is a very, very potent L-ascorbic acid vitamin C serum. Vitamin C is one of my favorite serums to use in the daytime, especially in conjunction with an exfoliating AHA or retinoid at nighttime. Vitamin C is a huge powerhouse ingredient, and I think a lot of people can benefit from it. That being said, the C Firma Day Serum was not my favorite after testing it for a long time. Number one, I found that it was very potent. I never really thought of vitamin C as something that can irritate your skin. I thought more of like retinols and acids as things that would irritate, but I didn't really think vitamin C could do such a thing. But it's a potent active ingredient, and any active ingredient should be used with caution and used properly. If for some reason my skin just didn't really agree with the formulation of the C Firma, there are other vitamin C's that I feel like are a little bit gentler, so I can use them more regularly, and thus I can actually like see more results. Whereas with the C Firma, I would sometimes like get irritation, have to stop using the serum for a couple days, and then basically not be able to get consistent results. I also did not like that the C Firma had a very short shelf life. It's really not the most stable formulation in my opinion, and I found that it went bad really quickly. And just in general, I find that I like other a lot cheaper vitamin C serums. My current favorite, the one I really enjoy, is the Fleur and Bee Nectar of the Sea Rejuvenating Vitamin C Serum. This is a vegan charitable skincare brand. I believe they're sold at Urban Outfitters, and they focus a lot on kind of like clean ingredients. I have a lot of thoughts about the term clean beauty and how it doesn't always mean better, but this brand focuses a lot on making like fragrance-free, sensitivity-friendly formulations of their products, which I really appreciate. And this vitamin C, not only does it like have a lot of longevity to it in terms of like not going bad immediately, but it's a lot less expensive and a lot gentler than the C Firma, and I find that this does really beautiful things for my skin. The TLC Sukari Baby Facial. You gotta exercise restraint with this one or you will be dealing with a chemical burn. This is a really, really strong acid mask. It's 25% AHA and 2% BHA. Use this maximum once a week, if even that. I go like 1.5 weeks maybe using this one. This is really potent. It basically has the effects that the TLC Friend Boost does, but on a bigger, stronger scale, and it does it in 20 minutes. After you wash this off, your skin's gonna feel so baby soft because all the dead skin cells on the top and everything has just been purged off and exfoliated away, and your skin's going to feel amazing. You want to follow this up with a good, gentle, hydrating serum, an occlusive moisturizer, and not using any strong actives until at least a day later. I do think it's worth your money just because it's basically a strong, like almost chemical facial in a bottle. However, I do think there is an amazing alternative, the ordinary AHA 30% and BHA 2% solution. This is also extremely strong. It has 5% more AHA than the Sukari Baby Facial. This is a very viscous, thick red liquid. Kind of looks like like blood, honestly. You leave this on your face for 10 minutes. I leave it on for 6 just because I'm sensitive. With this one, I leave it on for about 15 rather than 20. Plus, this is like $7 and this is too much, so yeah. Next, the third serum in Drunk Elephant's line, and a lot less popular than the Sea Firma and Framboos, is the Be Hydra Intensive Hydration Serum. I have a small size. I've gone through 3 of these small sizes testing out this serum. This is like the least worth it product from Drunk Elephant in my opinion. It's a really like slightly viscous gel texture, so it really does smooth really nicely onto the skin. But in terms of providing intensive hydration, which is what the name would imply, I really don't feel like this is the most hydrating serum you can get, especially for the price. While I do like to spend a little bit more money on serums just because I feel like serums can be the strongest part of your skincare routine, I don't feel like a hydrating serum is something you need to spend a ton of money on. And while this one didn't really do anything bad to my skin, it also didn't do anything groundbreaking. 2 of my favorite hydrating serums that I would recommend a lot more than the Be Hydra would be the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Hydrating Serum. This is something I use when I've maybe like gone a little bit too far with the active ingredients and my skin is just in need of a little bit of extra replenishing. I will use this type of hydrating serum that's aimed at specifically repairing your skin barrier. I actually really like using this after I use the Sukari Baby Facial or the Ordinary HA/BHA. I also really enjoy the Innisfree Intensive Hydrating Green Tea Serum. This is something I've been using for almost a year now, and Innisfree recently came to Sephora, so this is one of their most popular products from the line, and I definitely think that that hype is worth it. For reasons mentioned earlier, I've been scared of retinol since high school, but I think retinol is one of the best ingredients that most people can benefit from, and something that I've really enjoyed incorporating into my routines. So Drunk Elephant's Retinol, the A Passioni Retinol Cream, it's really strong. It's a 1% retinol, which is one of the highest concentrations you can get over the counter. It's also a vegan retinol, which is pretty hard to find, very interesting. This targets fine lines, wrinkles, texture as well, which is kind of my main thing. I don't have fine lines yet, but retinol can be a very good preventative ingredient as well. But the fact that it's in a cream formula, I feel like still helps it be a little bit more gentle than a typical retinol would be. And again, for me, when it comes to retinol, the name of the game is gentle because I'm scared. And to be honest, this is really hard to find a comparable dupe for. I think this is such a unique formula, definitely something I think is worth splurging on. But if you are looking for a retinol/retinoid type product that is on the more gentle side, I think bakuchiol, which is a synthetic retinol, is a really, really great option. There's not as much like medical research that backs up bakuchiol as opposed to retinol, which has been extremely tested in a laboratory setting. But so far, bakuchiol is showing to be a really, really great alternative to retinols. So if you're wanting a kind of gentle retinoid type product in a cream format, I really enjoy the Alpenbeauty Plant Genius Melt Moisturizer. Such a unique moisturizer formulation. This is a new brand at Sephora. Both of these are products I would use at nighttime, and both are something I would recommend if you're wanting the effects of retinol but in a nice gentle formula. Next up, I want to talk about the Protini Polypeptide Cream. I tested this one out last year. It was Sephora's birthday gift. They had the tiny little cream and I don't have it anymore, but I did go through that entire cream over about like 2-3 months. To be honest, it's not a moisturizer for me. I don't think it was really aimed at my skin type anyways. I do have dry skin. It's always listed down in my description box in the FAQ section, but I do have dry, pretty sensitive skin. And this moisturizer was not my favorite. I didn't feel like it was hydrating enough for me, but I think this is going to be a beautiful light moisturizer for people with oilier skin. I really like the inclusion and the focus on polypeptides in the formula. I think strengthening and feeding the peptide bonds in your skin is a really, really great way to take care of your skin barrier, and I think this is a really great moisturizer for that. It's really expensive though, and I think you can get very similar textures of moisturizers for a lot less. So one of my favorites is the Oat So Simple Water Cream from Krave Beauty. This is a super bare bones moisturizer. It's got 10 ingredients in it. Oat is one of my favorite ingredients, very universal in terms of like people that it's going to work for. So this is one of my favorite moisturizers when I just need to bring it right back to basics, and a really great dupe for the polypeptide cream. Their other moisturizer, which is a lot more suited to my skin type, is the Lala Retro Whipped Cream. I don't have the product right now in person to share with you guys, but I'll flash it on screen. This is the other moisturizer in their line, and it's a lot more of a thick, more occlusive whipped cream formula, whereas the polypeptide one is a bit more of a gel moisturizer. Lala Retro is thick, very nourishing, and really, really good for dry skin types. This overall, now that I don't have anymore, it's something I could see myself repurchasing because I did really enjoy how it worked for my dry skin. But I do think there are a lot less expensive options for a good hydrating occlusive moisturizer. Two of my favorites right now, the First Aid Beauty Ultra Repair Cream. This does exactly what the name would imply. It's ultra repair. So when my skin is going through it, if I've gone too hard with the active ingredients or I'm struggling with extra dryness, which can happen a lot during the winter time, this is my go-to for delivering intense hydration. It's fragrance free, which I know is very important to some people. For me, fragrance, even though I do have sensitive skin, a little tiny bit of fragrance doesn't usually bother me, so it's not essential for me to like a product, but this is a great fragrance free option and very, very good and hydrating. I also love the Fourth Ray Beauty, the Daily Facial Moisturizer. This has a very similar texture to the Lala Retro. It's kind of like a whipped formula, which I really enjoy. Almost like yogurt. It feels like yogurt when you're putting it on your face. Star of the show in this cream is squalane, which is one of my favorite hydrating ingredients. And while it's not quite as thick and hydrating as the Ultra Repair Cream, I do think this is a lovely formula and very affordable. I'm such a hoe for sunscreen, honestly, which I really shouldn't be, because sunscreen is one of those things I think you find one that works for you and you should stick with it. Drunk Elephant sunscreen was something I was very excited to use because it's called the Umbra Sheer Tint. I don't have it with me right now. It's an SPF 30 physical sunscreen and was promised to be nice and sheer, which is like one of my main concerns with Western sunscreens in general is avoiding that white cast. That's usually the reason I go for Korean or Japanese formulations. That market just has a lot more innovation in terms of sunscreens and strong PA products that really don't have that white cast and just melt more into the skin. It's $34, which is not as bad as other Drunk Elephant products, but still pretty expensive for a sunscreen. And honestly, I wasn't super impressed. It was sheer enough, but I wouldn't say it's completely like white cast proof for people who have darker skin tones. For me, a white cast doesn't really matter because I'm going to cover it up anyways with like a little bit of foundation. But it wasn't really my favorite and didn't really take me away from my favorite sunscreens, which are the alternatives I'm going to recommend in this video. Number one, my all-time favorite sunscreen is the Krave Beauty, the Beet Shield. This is absolutely beautiful. It just feels like a very thin gel moisturizer, not like a sunscreen at all. This sits really beautifully under makeup, and just in general, it's like something I get excited about putting on my face. I also really enjoy the Biore UV Watery Essence, SPF 50 and PA4+, which is awesome. This is my favorite affordable sunscreen. I got this for less than $10 on YesStyle. Exactly as the name would imply, it's a watery essence, so it really feels like nothing on the skin. Again, just kind of like a gel moisturizer. Melts in, I don't have to think about it. I enjoy putting this one on. It feels light, smooth, and makeup sits beautifully on top of this. The Drunk Elephant Bestie No. 9 Jelly Cleanser. I really love jelly cleansers, especially for my second cleanse. I always do a double cleansing routine, and I'm always on the hunt for a good second hydrating gentle cleanser. This is SLS fragrance and essential oil free. In terms of surfactants in here, there's really not a ton that's going to irritate, which is what I really look for. I need a cleanser that's going to take everything off, obviously, but it's also not going to take away the layer of like ceramides and skin barrier that I have going on and make my skin have that like squeaky clean feeling. That used to be an enjoyable thing for me, but it's really just not good for your skin. This is an amazing cleanser. I really enjoy how this one makes my skin feel. It does truly get everything off of my skin, and I wear a lot of makeup obviously, but it doesn't leave my skin feeling stripped, and it's a nice bouncy texture. The alternative that I want to share is the Ordinary's Squalane Cleanser. Again, squalane is one of my favorite hydrating ingredients, and this, similar to Drunk Elephant, it takes everything off my skin but still leaves my skin feeling fresh and hydrated, which is sometimes harder to find in a more strong cleanser like these. So as much as these are effective at cleansing, they're also really nice and gentle on the skin, and I really enjoy them. And then last but not least is their Virgin Marula Luxury Facial Oil. I have a little tester size because this is one of my favorite things to take on the plane. I coat my skin in this before I get onto an airplane. Airplanes are like one of the worst places for your skin. It's a really dry atmosphere with stale air. So putting on a nice layer of oil onto my skin before getting on the plane is the emphasis. Do not do your skincare on a plane. Not only does it minimize transepidermal water loss, it keeps water from leaving your skin out into the environment, but it also just keeps my skin feeling nice and nourished and protected. So once I get off the plane, my skin is like baby soft and wasn't affected too much by the plane air. So Desi Perkins mentioned that she just basically douses her face in this oil before she gets onto any flight. Ever since I got that tip from her about a year ago, I've been doing it ever since on any flight I take, and it's real good. And in terms of oils, I do think that sourcing and formulation really does matter for the quality. So while I do think that this is a lovely oil, I don't think it's $68 lovely, so I probably would never buy a full size of this oil. And something I'd love just as much is the Ordinary 100% cold pressed Marula oil. I've also tried Fourth Ray Beauty's Marula oil as well, which is a really great alternative. You don't need to spend $68 to get a good high quality marula oil for your skin. And just in general, if you want that airplane hack, a good high quality oil is going to do that. You don't need specifically the Drunk Elephant marula oil to do so. Alright guys, that is it. That is my Drunk Elephant pretty much almost full brand review. There are a few other products in their line, some of which I've tried out, some of which I haven't, but I didn't want to make this video like 16 million hours long, so I just wanted to focus on the most popular products from the brand. Hopefully this was helpful to you, whether you were interested in getting one of the Drunk Elephant products or if you wanted a dupe or a less expensive alternative for those products. If you guys liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Make sure you are subscribed down below and follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. Yeah. And if you made it to the very end of this video, you glowy hoes, you get the bonus meme. Love you. Bye.
Everybody has good childhood memories of the carnival.